So here we are back at the pieces that are going to make up our little baby dragon dude. And these are the eyes. This is the head. This is probably the most complicated piece to shape. Um, I'll take you through that in a little bit. I'll do another one with Jenny filming live as I do it. Um, One of the things you need to be careful of when you're doing nostrils on a dragon is to make sure that they don't end up looking like a pig snout. You want to be careful about that. Um, so you have to really work at it to make sure that they um, don't come out looking too porcine. Anyway, so this is basically a teardrop shape that you divide the back of it into two basic horns that come off of the back top of the head, not straight out the back, so that you've got something to attach to the body. And this is the body and tail. This is a gradually diminishing piece that's about, what is that, about 5 inches long, maybe, that we're going to attach to the head here in a minute. These are the wings. They are vestigial wings. These are not anatomically correct wings. You'll see what I mean in a minute. These are the accents for the wings. This is the tail accent. This is a small piece that is thicker in the middle than it is at the two ends. I'll show you why in a minute. These are the feet. Those are the front feet. These are the haunches, and those are the back feet. And then these are the horns. Okay, Jenny, can you come here and hold this for me so that I can put it together and let people see me putting it together? Okay? All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is attach the feet to the body. All right? And this is fairly simplistic construction on this. So those are the back haunches, okay, and back feet get attached like that, so they go under the belly of the dragon, okay, and then these are the front feet, like that, and that. Okay, and you're going to want to turn this over and take a chisel shaped tool, I don't know if you can see that, and sort of press it in so that it adheres to the body pretty well. Okay, and then so when you set that down, can you see that, Jenny? Can you zoom in? You set that down. That doesn't look much like a dragon, does it? Well,
It looks like a decapitated one.
well, yeah, we're getting ready to put the head on.
And a dewingitated one.
Okay, so the head is going to go right in here. You're going to make a little depression. If you have one of these shaped tools, it really helps.
And we don't use the baby one or the big one, we just use the middle-sized one?
No, we do use the baby one for the eyes. I'll show that in a minute. Okay, so this is where your head goes on. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Right there in that little hole.
Right there in the little hole. And then you can smooth them in.
Smooth in the...
Yeah, just sort of... because your fingers won't fit in there. It's just very difficult to make your fingers fit in this space, especially if you've got fingernails. They get in the way. They make accidental marks that you don't want on your dragon. So there you go. Now he's kind of a lizard that
a cute little
that doesn't have wings yet. So
and no eyes.
Now we're going to put him on the spot where he's going to bake. All right, so that I'm not going to move him much from this point on. Here, I'll put him right here so you can see.
Ta-da!
And this is where I'm going to start doing the sort of the accent pieces, okay?
The wings that look like a bow tie.
Yeah, the wings really do kind of look like a bow tie for right now. You just press those down just a little bit.
Bony wings. It's really cute.
Dragons aren't supposed to be cute. They're supposed to be terrifying. No, I'm kidding.
But this one's cute.
Yes, he is.
Now it looks like Jack Skellington's bow tie.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Jenny's just pointed out that the wings, when you're making them, look like a little bit like Jack Skellington's bow tie. These are, as I mentioned earlier in the video, these are what's called vestigial wings. These are not trying to be anatomically correct dragon wings. These are just a suggestion of wings that is just to give your dragon a suggestion of wings.
If you want to make the weird wings, you'll end up having it look like this.
No, that's the same as these.
I know. I said if you want to make the weird wings.
So what you do is you take this tool. You can see how this has an edge to it. And this is probably going to freak Jenny out. So what we're going to do...
Are we going to slice him?
It feels like you're dissecting your dragon, yes. You're going to put a cut right there in your dragon's back. Do you see
Gerald,
that?
Are you okay, Gerald?
Do you see that? Do you see that, Jenny? Can you zoom in on it? And then we're going to widen it. Okay.
Gerald is having surgery.
He's having back surgery.
He's having his wings permanently implanted on his back.
Yeah. He's made of clay, so there are no ligaments.
It still hurts.
Okay, so you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to fold your wings.
Like a little taco.
Like a little taco, that's right. And you're going to press them with your tool. You're going to press them in right there in that trench that you made, essentially. And then you're going to want to, if you want, you can turn this over and you see how I'm smoothing. I don't know if you can see that. You see how I'm smoothing the body up into the wings?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do this part,
but
because
just
the
to
likelihood is that nobody's ever going to see what's under there, but it does, it is helpful. So then you curl your wings down.
Now it looks a little bit like this one over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we're missing a couple things, right?
The tail needs more detail.
I know. We're missing a couple of things. That's right.
The eyes, the tail
Right.
accent thing.
Mm-hmm. The tail accent is really interesting. You got to watch this. I love this. I got taught this by somebody on the internet just the other day. So you'll notice that the tail accent is thicker in the middle than it is on the ends.
Mm-hmm. So we have that cute little triangle thing.
Yeah. So
At
what
the
you're going to do
end
is
of the
lay
tail.
it down next to the tail. You're going to pinch it like that. Pinch it onto the end of your
Now it has
Dragons.
a smog tail.
tail. See?
As a smog
Now
tail.
this you're not going to want to blend because you got two different colors. If I was doing it the same color, you can blend it, but we're not going to want to blend that. Now we also have eyes and horns to attach. So the horns, I've taken two skinny little spaghettis and made them into a pair of spiral horns.
Yay!
And I'm going to do similarly the way I did with the wings. I'm going to just
Head
put
surgery.
a little bit of a trench right here.
Permanently implanted horns for Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I call him Gerald. Is his name now? That's his shelter name.
There we go. I'm going to just
So cute.
do that. And these horns. You can make the horns go any which way you want. I happen to like them that way. Okay. Then eyes. Eyes are easier if you just pick him up, honestly. So I probably should have done the eyes earlier. But you can see the eyes just go right into that eye ridge area that I had made earlier.
Try not to smush his head in the process, though.
Yep. Okay. Now, if you want your dragon to have this interesting little twist to his tail, you can, now's the time. To do that. And now, as Jenny was pointing out, there definitely is some extra detail on this dragon that there's not on this one. And I've got a couple of choices here. I can do the same thing I did with this one, where I just did little, I used this little tool to make little indentions. And then when I paint on this guy, if I use a paint that's got sort of an antiquing quality, it'll make those show up even better. This little guy, I've got a couple choices. I have a couple of, like a little, I don't know, minuscule amount of dark gray left over. I could do little dark gray accents on him, or I could do these little little holes, or I could do nothing. So Jenny, it's really up to you, since this is our second prototype. What would you like me to do? Would you like me to make little gray accents for him, or what would you like?
I don't know. Let's try the gray accents.
Gray accents, okay. So we're going to do silvery gray accents. So what I'm going to do is roll this. Hang on, get a close up of this. This is when you're rolling. Obviously, you don't want to be rolling too much at once, because it's hard to keep it from going flappy, flappy, flappy. So you roll
Little snake.
your little snake out.
Or noodle, whichever one you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer snake because I love them. Snakes are so cute.
Okay. And now I can take, what happened to my other tool? Hang on. Back up. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. This is an incredibly useful tool. It's got, this is not a sharp. It's not sharp.
It's a slice and dice.
But I can take and make little bitty, almost little horn things.
Rolls of clay.
Yeah. And honestly, they'll stay better if I make little holes, like for seeds, and just
plant the seeds.
Plant the seed into the hole. So I'm going to do a couple of these down the length of my dragon tail.
Ta-da!
Okay, so now I have to just cut them and plant them. Cut. You can actually use this tool right here to deliver it to the hole and plant it. Jenny, can you get a close-up of what I'm doing there? Mm-hmm. So follow it from here. Come over here. So I'm cutting a piece like there, bringing it over here, and putting it into the hole.
Ta-da!
Okay. Now, as I get down a little further towards this smaller part of the tail, I'm going to actually go back here to my snake and make the snake a little bit thinner, a little skinnier, so that the blobs of clay are not overwhelming. And you can see I'm just using the tool. I'm not even bothering to make them totally round, because they go right in there and they just work.
So that's what makes our cute little dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Close up of his face. It's so cute.
Well, and I might do a couple little accent pieces on his face too, so just hang tight.
Give it little dots.
Mm-hmm.
Slicing up the clay.
There. So now his face looks a little bit plain compared to the rest of him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my small tool here again and make a space for 1, 2, 3, 4 little blobs. Okay. So let's see how this goes. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. It won't hurt. It's so cute.
There. So that is our silvery white dragon with gray accents. And he's going to go into the oven here in just a little bit. But instead of baking him all by himself, I'm going to make
a couple more.
like 8 or 10 more to fit on here. And we'll bake a whole passel of them. So there is the dragon. And I'll show it to you again when we're done.